right off the bat, I suppose my issue is I've not got a very exciting vulva. My name's Poppy Hillstead. I'm wearing a bloody brain scanner. And guests have 40 minutes to convince me to be into whatever kink, passion or obsession that they're into. If they manage to beat my brainwaves, then I'm officially into it. You know, whether I like it or not. This week I'm joined by Rupert the Bear, who is incredibly passionate about social nudity. Let's get on with it. It's just a line, so it's not a very educational body. What do I do about that?
What do you do about it? You don't have to do anything at all about that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a beautiful thing. It's like, I was thinking, do you know, like 99.999% of all animals in the animal kingdom are naked all day, every day. You know, they molt, they shed their hair, they grow more hair.
Yeah.
It's all going on, and none of them are going, oh my God,
Yeah.
you know, like one of the animals might see me without my clothes on. It's
Yeah.
like, they're so chilled. It's like only us humans have somehow invented this body shame.
Yeah.
To kind of make life really complicated and difficult for ourselves.
Do you know what I've noticed as well? Like, animals, they're more vulnerable than us because their anuses are out all the time. Like, if you think about where your anus is.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking about it right now, yeah.
I'm thinking about it too. We've got cheeks to protect our anuses.
We have.
Whereas
yeah.
if you look at, like, my cat, for instance, it's just, there's no buttocks protecting that. That's out 24/7.
It's out 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a cat, it makes it much easier to give it a good old lick, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you
it
know?
does. Yeah.
So-
And we don't have that ability.
We don't, you know.
Do you think buttocks have been formed to naturally, like, cover our anuses?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, we do spend a lot of time on our asses, don't we, humans?
We
Probably
do.
more than any other animal. We sit around on our asses. So I wonder if they've developed, you know, there's a nice padding, whereas cats don't kind of... If cats sat on their asses all day, their anus would be, like, rubbing on the floor. I wouldn't want that if I was a cat. You know?
I wouldn't want that either. You're right. Like, yeah, I'm trying to think about this now. So, yeah, you're thinking, like, buttocks have developed because we sit on them a lot.
Yeah, that's my theory. I mean, I know there's this whole theory about, like, secondary sexual characteristics and Desmond Morris.
Is there?
Buttocks
No, tell me about
to
that.
look like. Yeah, the idea was that they were supposed to look like breasts,
Okay.
like female breasts, so that they're a secondary sexual characteristic or something.
yeah.
But it's just a theory. I think my theory is just as good.
I think your theory's
slightly
better. I think it's better.
Like-
John, how are my readings doing? Any peaks or troughs?
Scientist John.
Well, we had a starting heart rate of 81 beats per minute. That was a lot earlier on, and then it's raised at the start of this conversation to a whopping 134.
Wow.
It went down a little bit when you discovered that animals are naked all the time.
Okay. That was a disappointment to me. I think I walked past a chihuahua a moment ago and it had a little coat on, so... But then again, it's not covering its genitals.
It's not covering its genitals or
No.
horse coats as well. The one thing they don't cover are their genitals. I mean, maybe for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
It might
yeah.
struggle with the fly zip.
Exactly,
animals,
yeah,
but, you know,
the hooves and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, do you know what? I think we should get straight into you walking me through what it would be like now. Where do you usually do your nudity?
I mean... Do you know, it's like I'm not one of these people who's naked all the time. I don't usually walk around home naked or I don't do the cooking naked. Like, I don't fry sausages naked, you know, like some people do.
Do people see that?
Fair play to them, but that's not my scene. It's more of a sort of a summer thing, a festival thing, a beach thing. But I do also sometimes, like with friends, we kind of gather around and do life drawing and we just take it in turns to model and draw each other.
Okay.
So that can be an all around the year thing. So it kind of, there's lots of different scenarios really where I just think whipping your kit off makes life more interesting and enjoyable.
Definitely. The only time I've ever had any kind of like experience of that is that Fatboy Slim came to Lincoln University.
Yeah.
My friend dared me to get my tit out at it.
Your one
because,
tit?
Yeah, just one tit. Because he was looking bored. And I did that and he had no reaction. But I got a thrill from that.
Did you?
Do you get a thrill from just being out?
From being out? Yeah, I mean, so there's the first level, which is just like, you know, as long as the weather's nice and there's, you know, it's just really lovely to feel the breeze on my skin, the sun on my skin, by the beach to feel the water on the whole of my skin. So there's the sensual level.
Yeah.
So like if I was on a beach, I don't know if this is true for you, but if I was on a beach, beautiful beach, and there was no one for miles around, I would definitely be naked because
Yeah.
it's just a more sensual experience.
Okay, interesting. Well, maybe we should try that now.
Yeah, okay.
So, John, watch my readings right now and tell me if anything. Again, peaks or troughs. That's the catchphrase I've come up with.
Peaks or troughs.
So if I'm like, if I get into the zone now, can you talk me through? I'm on the beach. Talk me through what I should be feeling.
What you should be feeling.
Yeah,
Oh, because
yeah.
it needed to. It was
If
all
I-
about the shoulds.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about just letting what unfolds.
If I was you, Rupert, what would I be
What would
feeling
you-
now? Yeah.
So
talk me
what I'll
through
do
it.
is I'll just talk you through. So my first ever experience of social nudity, I guess, was on a nudist beach in France when I was about 16, I guess, on a family holiday, and I went
Okay.
off for a walk down the beach, and this little sign said "Plage Naturiste." And I thought, I've got O-level French, I should be able to work out what this means.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I've
yeah,
got an idea, you know. And then as I walked along, then I'll talk you into that.
Okay.
What my experience was
Okay, let's
as
do
I
it.
walked along.
Okay.
So kind of you're walking along this beautiful, long, sandy beach.
Okay.
There's a blue sky, the sun's shining.
Yeah.
It's glistening on the water. When you look at the waves and the sea, you can just see the sparkles.
Amazing.
You're paddling in a couple of inches of really warm seawater, and you can feel sand between your toes and under your feet.
Wow.
Oh, it's going up.
Oh, it's going up.
Ooh,
Oh, it's going up.
it's going up.
Okay.
And you're walking through the shoreline there with the shallow water, and
Is it the water that's making my... Is it the shallow water? Because I'm going to be really honest.
Go on.
This is fascinating.
yeah.
I was thinking if there was going to be crabs or insects in the shallow water. That's genuinely what I was thinking. Is that what maybe it is, John?
It could be. It's steadying. It's plateauing at this
Okay.
level.
I'm also thinking, is there people there?
So we're just getting to that bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, sorry.
So you're walking along, and
Yeah.
at first there's a few people there, you know, just kind of families and people enjoying, they're having a lovely time. You feel laughter and smiles and people enjoying the day. And, you know, they've all got like usual swimwear on, and you keep walking and just enjoying, your hips swaying as you walk along the shore.
Yeah.
And then you start to notice that one or two of the people are naked. They don't have that little bit of cloth on this one random particular part of their body, but in every other way they're just the same. They're enjoying the day, they're
Okay.
enjoying the sea and the sun.
So have they looked at my line vulva yet?
Well, you're still clothed at this point, you see.
I'm still
so,
clothed?
Yeah, oh yeah, you're still clothed.
Well, what am I
at this
going to
point.
do?
Well, we're coming to that bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're just going for this stroll, and you know, and then more and more people are naked, and then you realise you keep going, and then all the people are naked, every single one.
Everyone I look at. Animals,
Everyone
people,
is naked.
Everyone
you know,
is.
all ages.
Your heart's calmed a little bit at this.
I'm disappointed. I thought I was going to be the only one. I want to be special. Is there a beach where it's like one can be nude?
We can do that. We can do that.
No one can be
I wanted
nude?
to ease you in gently.
Okay.
I mean, because you can be the only person naked in lots of clothed people, but I'd say that's more of an edge. That's probably not a beginner's level.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nudity, you
I want to
know.
go, Reaper, I'm going to be honest, I want to go balls deep into nudity.
Okay.
I want to walk into Tesco just with it all out. Should I do that?
Well, see, what I would start with is something like the naked bike ride, naked bike ride, where
Oh,
people
yeah.
cycle round a city centre, like maybe a few hundred people, 1,000 people, and everyone's naked.
Yeah.
But you're naked in an urban environment where people aren't normally
Okay.
naked.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but there's kind of in that there's some safety in numbers. You're not going to get arrested,
Okay.
but you can just enjoy being naked. And what's it like to have my whatever it is out
Yeah.
as I cycle past Big Ben?
Yeah.
Just a random example. You know?
Oh my God. So when would it be an arrestable offence? If I walked into Tesco right now and was just like, I'm doing it, guys.
Yeah, I mean, so the funny thing is, which people don't know, it's not actually legal to be naked in this country, but it is illegal to cause a disturbance on a fray. So what it generally works as, if someone asks you to put your clothes on and you refuse, then you could be in trouble.
Okay. Okay.
But you know, I've had a friend of mine. She used to, on a hot day, she would walk around topless around town with a friend of hers, male, also topless.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, like usually a policeman or woman would come and say, oh, you've got to put your top on. And she would say, well, why? You know, because my friend is topless and I'm topless and this
Yeah.
and that gender discrimination.
Yeah.
And they would have to say, well, yeah, it is actually. You know, there's this whole thing. It's like on Facebook, you can show male nipples but not female nipples.
That's a good point.
Do you know when you look at that? So you can Photoshop a male nipple on top of a female nipple, and then it's okay.
Really?
I mean, doesn't that show how kind of twisted our attitudes to nudity are and gender when it comes to it?
We've got a tiny peek here. On the mention of nipples.
Scientist John. I think the nipple thing is because I'm going to be honest. My nipples don't have any pigment to them at all, so I don't think it would cause any. I think I might be the most boring nudist ever. There's nothing going on. Yours have got more pigment than mine. Mine are just like globes, plastic globes.
So people might think you were wearing little flesh-coloured nipple patties or something.
I think in general they'd just think I was wearing a full flesh-coloured bodysuit with just a little line drawn where the vulva is, and people would just be like, I'm not bothered by that.
Well, perfect. Then you can just walk around and enjoy being naked without getting arrested or.
Oh yeah, so it's not about being bothered.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me. Like on this time on the nudist beach, you know, I was walking along, and it took a while for me to dare to whip my own trunks off, and then it's like. I'm naked and people can see me naked, and then it's like nobody gave a shit. Nobody was looking. Nobody was saying. It's like, oh my god, that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah,
that itself was an amazing feeling. Oh, my body isn't this terrible, shameful thing that everyone's going to go.
Okay.
You know, it's just like it's a human body.
So talk me through it now. We'll go back to our little experiment.
Oh yes, the little experiment.
So I'm there. I'm like, I'm just going to whip it all off now.
You're going to whip it all off. You're on the nudist beach. You can whip it all off. You just. Take it all off.
Rip my nude full suit thing off.
And there you are.
And there I am.
And there's people walking towards you along the beach. And how do you feel in your skin?
They're
all naked. Everyone's naked. They're not really bothered. They're just kind of going, oh, there's another naked person.
Are they looking at my bits?
It's rising.
It's rising. Does this mean it's stressing me out if I'm into it? What angle is this?
It's going up. And it's not like... It's okay, it's steadied out now, but it's
okay.
higher than it was.
So that has caused an effect.
Yeah.
So an initial spike followed by calming down a bit.
Yes.
That's exactly what I experienced that very first time. Like when I first whipped it off, I was like, oh my god, this is like outrageous and kind of amazing. And then after a while I was like, oh, it's just the most natural thing in the world actually to be walking along a beach and enjoying the sun and the sea and the air on my skin.
So are people looking at my bits?
Do you know, I mean, that's going to vary on the person, but generally speaking, no, you know, it's like people will glance. I mean, do you know, there's sometimes this thing at, I'm not a member of a nudist club or anything, but like, you know, nudist clubs where everyone's like, hello, we mustn't look down, whatever happens, we've got to look straight, we mustn't look down,
That's what I'm doing now.
Do you know, I don't blame you.
Rupert, you should be more confident in your body.
No, I don't. I just mean if you're not like used to being around people just hanging out naked, then it can take a bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
So sometimes I've been at like a festival, or something that's going to be like a naked dance, and it's like at the beginning, like maybe everyone stands in a circle and you strip your kit off, and then it's like, okay, let's have 2 minutes, just have a really good look at everyone's bits. Check it all out. You've seen it all. There's nothing more to see. Now we can get on with just being naked and having fun and dancing.
When you're at a festival and there's going to be a naked dance.
Yes.
That's blowing my mind already. What's that?
Okay, well, so as well as kind of enjoying naked events, I sometimes put them on myself, like especially at festivals.
Yeah.
So it's actually like a clothing optional dance usually.
Yeah.
But you kind of get everyone clothed to start with, a bit like the nudist beach.
Yeah.
Get everyone moving and grooving into the body. And then as the music starts to pump up, you're welcome to take clothes off as and when.
Okay.
And that's one way of doing it, you know. And then there's another way of doing it, which is the purely naked dance, which is like, this is only if you definitely want to get naked.
The pure naked dance.
Pure naked. And then you all strip off right at the beginning and you just...
Yeah.
Do you know, you have a look and then it's like, okay, well, I've seen everyone now, so now I can just enjoy being naked.
Interesting.
You've calmed.
I've calmed at that.
You've calmed.
Well, let's see. What if we organised something where it was like nude Conga in the Tesco?
Oh, man.
Would that be good?
This has been one of my fantasies.
Really? Me too. Is it spiked, John?
It's remaining calm. It's gone up a tiny bit.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's all to play for.
Could you talk me through the feeling if we were doing a nude Conga in the Tesco?
Yeah. So there you are. So like, you know, you've got your hands on someone else's hips here. They've got your hands on there.
Perfectly natural.
You're sort of swaying like this, past the baked beans.
Yeah.
And, you can get a good look at their arse if you want to. You might not want to.
Okay, yeah. You can safely look at it and check it out.
You could have a little look and, it's like, there it is, and there's the next one. And
so-and-so behind you might be like, why is she checking out this person's ass? And it might cause a horrible toxic effect that goes through the whole of the Conger Line.
Yeah. Or they might just be checking out your ass. I mean,
maybe.
Who knows what's going on?
Who knows? John, has there been a spike?
It's hotting up a little bit.
Is it because I'm thinking of the Conger Line checking my ass out?
I mean, just on that sentence, it jumped.
Okay, that's not okay.
Scientist John.
But there's safety in numbers, right? In the concept.
Yeah.
Do you know what I reckon? I mean, I don't want to be cynical, but like, if you did that for charity, if you said we want to do a naked conga in Tesco's for charity, you could probably get away with it because it would have this sort of intention, and obviously you would be actually raising money for charity.
And you could say it's educational.
Go on.
Well, I'm just thinking because the nude body, you
Yeah.
can get away with being nude
Yeah.
if you say it's for education, can't you?
Exactly, yeah.
So if you keep going through, you're congering through and you're like, this is educational and it's for charity, and you're saying that to every person that's coming, I think that would be fine.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because, probably no one knows, what does a nude conga in Tesco's look like? I don't know. There's only one way to educate me about what it
Exactly.
looks like. Just go ahead and
Just
do
be
it.
free. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I saw, this was a real thing. I think it was in Scandinavia where they're a little bit more free about nudity. But they had, I think it was a new supermarket opening, and they kind of said, so on the first day, to get publicity, you can grab a trolley and you can have 1 minute to go around just helping yourself for free to whatever you can put in your trolley for 1 minute.
Yeah.
If you're naked.
Wow.
So, and I saw this film, like all these people rushing around, like, I don't care about nudity, I just want to get the nice pie.
If you're on a nudist beach and you meet someone that you fancy, and you're like, this is really hot, I'm going to go home with them, do you get dressed when you're back at yours and then take your clothes off again and then bang them, and then after put your clothes back on again, go back to yours and then take your clothes off again?
Yeah, God, that's a really good question. I mean, I've been puzzling that one for a long time, and I think it comes down to, well, how am I getting home from the beach?
Yeah.
Am I cycling or walking to my beautiful little shack?
Yes.
Just back from the beach.
I forgot about
Or am I, getting the plane back from Greece to the UK, getting on a train, sitting on a bus? Because it was my last day on the beach, so that might come into it a bit, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to the point where you're like, I'm so used to being naked, after you're going through, checkout, airport checkout, you're like, shit, I'm nude. Have you ever forgotten you're nude?
It's a good question. Kind of, sometimes like at a festival, if I've been in this, it's like a kind of sauna area, this sort of marked off bit where there's saunas and there's showers and people, like everyone's naked, there's people sitting around a fire having lunch, people playing guitars, people chatting, having another sauna, having another shower, and 60, 70 people are just hanging out naked. And then after a while of that, especially if it's like day 5 of a sauna, of the festival, and I'm in the sauna, it's just, you can just kind of, this feels so natural, and then it feels really weird putting your clothes on.
I bet it does,
It's like,
that makes
all
sense.
this elastic and all this stuff.
Yeah, interesting. If you're a nudist and you have a kid with a non-nudist, is the child a nudist, like automatically?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you'd have to decide between you, are you going to take them to nudist church every week?
Yeah.
And get them baptised as an official nudist, or
does that
or like
happen? Do I have to get this done?
Not yet, but
If the readings are correct, I will get baptised as a nudist. Hello, just interrupting here to ask if you, the listener, have got an obsession, a kink, or a passion that you want to share with the rest of the world. Well, submit it to my Obsessions Confessions booth. Let's have a little fumble around now and see what's been sent in. Ask listeners to send in their obsessions anonymously. So here's some. Okay. I enjoy pictures of really well-used massage chairs I find online. I try and glimpse into the owner's life by examining the location of the stain and which parts have the most wear and tear. It gives me a thrill. I sometimes have a wank after, but that could be a coincidence. What do you reckon?
whether it's a coincidence having a wank? Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends how often they wank anyway.
Yeah,
you know, if they're wanking 10 times a day, it might just be a coincidence.
What do you think of the massage chair obsession? Do you think there's a...
Do you know, I mean, I just think great. You know, if people find enjoyment and pleasure in something and it doesn't harm anyone else, then fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that great? Like,
yeah,
why not?
It's getting off on the stains of the massage chair and the wear and tear.
Yeah.
I'm guessing of wear a buttock.
Mm-hmm.
Like what we were on about earlier.
Yeah.
That has caused him pleasure. So the natural human body has caused him pleasure. That's a nice thing, right?
I mean, it's probably got just like a really vivid imagination. So just from that sort of pattern on the wear and tear, he can probably maybe work out how the buttocks were moving, at what velocity, at what angle. You know, he's probably got quite a mathematical and imaginative brain. So that's
exactly.
quite impressive. You know, I'm quite impressed with that.
John, any?
It's gone up a little bit, yeah.
Am I into massage chairs? Is this what this means? What's happening?
It might have been the mathematics and the complications of the analysing the chair.
Do you want to have a go at that again and we'll see if my heart rate goes up?
Yeah.
Talk about some mathematical equations.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, you know, the exact angle at which the buttocks were moving, you know, it sort of depends whether it's kind of coming in, you know, both in the horizontal plane and in the vertical plane. You've got to consider both.
Calming, so it wasn't that.
Seems like I've been aroused some way by the massage chair. We'll go on to the next one. I work with a guy who has a sexual attraction to snow and ice. Whenever it snows, we find snowballs with finger-deep holes in them, and he's only smiley when it snows. He once removed a sheet of ice off a bonnet and winked at me as he put it on his passenger seat.
Okay. Wow. I mean, ice and snow are very essential things, aren't they?
Have you ever been nude in the snow?
I have.
Oh.
Yeah. I was up in Scotland at the New Year's Eve, and there was a sauna there, and it had been snowing about 2 feet of snow.
Sorry, Nude Year's Eve.
Nude Year's Eve, yeah. Obviously. So it was at sauna, everyone was naked in the sauna because that's, you know, what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And then, you know, in between the rounds in the sauna, you cool down, and often it's a shower or a cold tub, but we just ran out and we just rolled around in the snow and made snow angels naked. But I would only do it knowing that I could go straight back in the sauna straight afterwards.
Oh,
you know,
course.
I'm not like someone who goes swimming in the winter. Like,
yeah.
And, you know, I'll have 30 seconds in between a sauna or something.
You're not a masochist.
I'm not a masochist.
No.
This is exciting you a little bit.
Oh.
Really? Okay. What? I think it was probably Nude Year's Eve. That is just such a good title for a for a gathering. Have you got what other ones are there?
In terms of
like events.
In terms of events, so yeah, let's have a little think. So one of the things I've really enjoyed is a kind of it's called Body Love Sketch Club, and it's a life drawing with a difference where everyone who wants to can model as well as draw, and you can be anywhere from fully clothed to fully nude.
Oh.
So it's a way for people to kind of dip their toe in the water, or I was going to say dip their nipple in the water, but
yeah, like that works.
Dip something in the water.
John? And with the nipple in the water.
So, and especially around like a kind of body positivity sort of thing, whereby, you know, I think so there's this professor in London called Professor Keon West, and he's done quite a lot of research into public nudity as a to test whether it improves people's mental health, and it seems to suggest that it does. And even going to life drawing classes, where even if you don't take your own clothes off, just being around a normal, natural human naked body week in, week out, sort of at some level, your nervous system just goes, oh, it's okay, you know, I don't have to be perfect, I don't have to look like the magazines, and indeed I don't, you know, I can just be who I am, and that's fine, and that's all good, you know.
Yeah,
So that's kind of part of the idea of that, and it's, do you know, it's almost like, and it's creativity positive, because you don't have to be a good artist, you don't have to be good at drawing, and it's almost like reclaiming your kind of innocent 2-year-old. So you like, if you're a 2-year-old toddler, you know, what do? You grab a crayon and you scribble on stuff and go, look, mummy, and you do all this, and you probably run around naked and don't think anything of it. You know, it's before you've been taught to have shame around your body. Before all that, you're just like, here I am, this human being.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is kind of recreating that sense. Yeah, we can draw, and it doesn't have to be marked out of 10. We could just be naked, and our body can inspire some art, and like
we can do whatever we want to do.
Whatever we want to do. Yeah.
Should we have a beer?
Yeah.
Do you want a tinny?
Yeah, let's have a tinny.
Right. Cheers, Rupert. Let's get on to the next obsession confession. This might freak you out. I'm not really too sure. But we can talk about it.
Yeah.
I'd like to know your...
You can give me a counselling session afterwards if
it's too weird.
Yeah.
Okay. I've perfected the technique where when I do a fart, I can sort of trap it between my clenched cheeks and close my legs, and then through careful manoeuvring, I can sort of guide it forward and between my thighs, often releasing the guff on my taint or even on the back of my ball bag. Wow. He keeps going. I've never done any research, but I suspect this ability and interest isn't that uncommon. Do you think? Not sure. However, I believe I've taken it a step further in that I've managed to develop such dexterity with these little unpopped pockets of air that I can actually, with great concentration, roll them back and forth from taint to arsehole and back again, over and over, like a child's swing.
This is calming you down.
Oh.
That's kind of amazing. I mean, and I'm wondering if this is a skill that some nudists could use to be developed, because, there aren't many rules in nudism.
Yeah.
But one important rule is, like, do not follow through on a fart.
Don't shit yourself.
If you're naked.
The one rule.
That's what pants are for, isn't it?
The one rule.
The one rule
on the tablet.
But if all these natures, I mean, this is especially like the it doesn't matter if you're on the beach so much, but the indoor nudism.
Yeah.
And there is this whole etiquette of like you have a little towel, and
yeah.
Often it's marked on one side, so if you're sitting down, you sit on the towel so you don't taint. Don't taint
something with
chair
your taint
or something you're sitting on for hygiene reasons.
Okay, so there's a towel that has an arse side
and arse side and a chair side, so that you don't, because if you kept sitting and using a different side, it's very, very carefully thought through.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
This towel is very calming for you.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's calmed me down, because I'd worry about. I was going to use the term infecting things then, but I'm going to reverse on that and say I'd be scared about contaminating furniture. Does that happen? Do you ever, in the nudist space, kind of go, there's something there, there's some kind of skid mark, and I'm not...
On the sofa, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why there is this quite high etiquette, and I'm not so much of an indoor naturist. It doesn't like for these kind of reasons. I'm more of an outdoor.
Yeah, you're not going to be like in an attic, like just nude, going through your stuff.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Not unless it's like when it gets 35 centigrade, or if it's really hot, then yes, for practical purposes. But
you'd go into the attic to cool down.
Yeah.
Any reading on that, John?
Still quite calm.
Yeah, I like that. I like the thought of being nude and cool in an attic, just going through my old stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think I do that at home anyway. I think, like you said, it's all about the outdoor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me. Yeah.
Interesting. But to bring it back to what you were saying before, so we were on about... What were we on about? Oh, the guff never follow through on a fart.
Never follow through on a fart if you're an indoor nudist.
Who has come up with that rule?
Well, I don't know. It occurred to me this morning as one of the questions you might ask.
I mean, I didn't even ask it.
No.
You just brought it up.
I just brought it up, so obviously it's concerning me greatly. I've obviously been... I'm not telling you about my current state with farting, so...
Okay, that's fine.
That's my personal medical record. So
what's the worst thing you've ever seen at a nudist event? As in, I say worst, as in kind of similar to like following through or some kind of thing like that.
Oh, gosh. Wow. Well, I mean, similar to that, one thing people do say is, because like I quite enjoy the World Naked Bike rides, they happen in a lot of different cities, and there's sort of a protest against oil dependency and car culture, and pro cycling and pro bodies as well. And but people have said, so you sit for 2 hours on a hot day with your bare ass on a sticky plastic saddle. Oh, and I noticed you've like hired one of the hire bikes as well in London, one of the sort of the Boris bikes or whatever. It's like, do you clean it off afterwards?
Do you bring some little like antibacterial wipes with you places?
So what I do is for that, as I do, I just bring like a little sarong or something, and like type it, and then it's more comfortable. It's a bit of cotton.
Yeah.
Cotton, not sticky plastic. Sticky plastic and arses don't really
mix together.
Mix.
Who's the most extreme nudist that you've ever met?
Extreme nudist that I've ever met. I mean, there's some that I know of that I haven't met yet who've travelled. There's 2 couples and they cycled from Land's End to John O'Groats completely naked, like the whole thing.
Wow.
All the way going through villages and towns, and one couple went one way and the other couple went the other way, and I think they kind of did phone in advance to let people know, but like the idea was they didn't put any clothes on for that, and they were camping. It was in the summer, obviously.
Yeah. Those saddles.
And the challenge was to not exactly again. Right, I hope they had lots of nice cotton padding, but that's quite extreme. But I can also see the appeal of doing something like, with a goal like that. I mean, I'm sure they were raising money for charity or something, as well as raising awareness of nudity and presenting it as non-threatening. It's like, because often there might be an image of, why is that person naked?
Yeah.
And there might be some legitimate reasons for that. Someone might have had bad experiences in the past or just not know why someone's naked. But if you can just sort of present it as this, we're naked because it's kind of fun.
We're just naked.
Yeah.
We're just naked.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I'm thinking like, maybe I should just fucking walk out into the street now. Just go on the tube. Would I get arrested?
Yes, you do that. I reckon you're less likely to get arrested if there's more than one of you. So like if we both did that, or if we both did it and the team did it,
yeah,
the more people there are, the more it's like everyone's going to go, oh, that's probably a charity thing, or that's probably some kind of event like a flash mob.
Yeah.
Because if you're on your own, I think people are more like
hate crime.
This could be exactly. This could be a bit of a weirdo or something. So do you know?
I don't know if hate crime is even
and then
hate crime.
Hate clothes crime.
Yeah. Right, I think it's about time for the results. Scientist John spaffed them out.
Scientist John here. According to the results, Poppy's flow has remained consistent from the start of the episode. Heart rates increased steadily. That could either imply excitement or anxiety due to the presence of a completely nude man. Poppy's coherence remains at incoherent, according to the scanner, but attention is high. Putting all this together, I would hypothesize general intriguity. Graphing the results, taking into account any error, and correlating all the readings, comparing to the control, the results are Poppy Hillstead is officially into social nudity.
Yeah, maybe I'm officially a nudist. So, literally first episode, 2 minutes into it.
You were already convinced?
That was it, yeah. That was it.
I'm sure some of the others would be more challenging.
Right? I'd get nude now, but as I said, there's nothing going on. It's just like flesh-coloured nipples and a line, and that's it. Really boring, uneducational body.
Uneducational.
No one's gonna like complain. They're just like, right, what's that? It's
Which
like
is perfect because you don't want people to complain.
Yeah. I'm just
because that really is the thing. It's all about what you feel. It's all about your experience.
Yeah.
That's the whole. Like, it really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or what they say.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't want to deliberately go out to try and offend people deliberately, but if you're just being you, it's like.
Oh, that's what I thought the angle was, though.
Oh, you want to go out and deliberately offend people?
I just want to piss people off. And there you have it. Officially a nudist. I'm probably going to have to go to a nudist beach in a follow-up episode, aren't I? I mean, like, I don't mind. I could do. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should make these promises. The reality is setting in now of actually saying that and then having to do it would actually be quite. Yeah, I think that would be really full on. First episode, making huge promises. There you go. Join me next time. Yeah, it is what it is. Join me next time, okay? Oh, should we wait until this? They're coming here to arrest you, Rupert, not me. I've just called them. I've texted them and gone like, there's a man here and I don't know what.
A naked man suddenly walked in.